Hi guys, hi girls, as a WF1 here, and this week we're talking about the bugs in the game. Obviously, there will always be some sort of bugs that will get fixed, but I know a lot of players are very frustrated at the moment against Hutch with the bugs and the way the game is going at the moment. So, main purpose of this video is to give you a little bit of update of what the bugs are and when they intentionally get to be fixed. So we've got some rough dates by what maybe month they are, but we'll still provide that information. So if you feel any issues, hopefully we'll cover them here and you'll know that Hutch are aware. So when we started this season, we all had massive expectations, like we do every single year. New game, pretty much new season, and we can't wait to get started. Now, this season's been a bit of a frustration. At the start of it, Hutch changed the prices in crates. They were gone from $1,500 to basically 6,000 in some cases. They got hugely expensive, basically to avoid people buying them. But of course, people still do buy them. We've had asset trading be changed multiple times in terms of the price, million coins for asset trading. We've had the numbers reduced as well. So there's a lot of frustration bringing with players, and that's not just it at the minute. We've got various bugs that are in the game which people want to have fixed, and that's fair enough. People want the bugs to be fixed. Many people don't play this game and want to have the bugs in it. Everyone wants a perfectly run, smoothing game, and I think it's fair to say even Hutch wants that. But obviously, they got to address the issues that are in at the moment. We're going to have a look at what was intended for Update 29, and we're going to provide you with what are the bugs after with Update 29 as well. And then we'll come on to a bit more information at the end of the video. So let's have a look at Update 29 in the Apple Store and the notes that come with it. So Grand Prix event difficulty tiers are now unlocked based on player loadouts. So for example, if you're racing Contender, Contender is usually Series 9 or below, let's say. You can't use parts that are Champion like Series 12, Series 11, Series 10. Now, that took a few weeks to implement after Update 29, but it now is in and does restrict you using certain parts and drivers in certain events. In the very top tier of champs, every part is available. We have the update to asset trading, including the amount of assets traded and the trade costs. So that is one that was originally raised. Obviously, we had very expensive. That has now reduced once the whole update was rolled out to 20. But I know the cards volume had changed slightly as well in terms of how much we have to give to replace a asset and get a new one. Added track lap count display on series cards. That's fine, that's added. Improved overtaking of lapped cars and back markers. Interesting one, we'll come back to that. Fixed unexpected car behaviour on pit lane exits. We'll come back to that. Fixed a bug that resulted in players experiencing a significantly more challenging qualifying environment, resulting in worse results. Ever had your basically drivers start P1, P2 and then suddenly P9, P10? Yes, that is that. A bug that sometimes results in enhanced speed when selecting pit options. So remember, pit start, the pit boost, where you launch off the line, that's one. Additional bug fixes, back-end and optimization changes as well. So blue flags was also one as well. Back markers constantly getting in the way. So Update 29 actually promised quite a bit of promising updates. Now let's see what we were left with after Update 29. So we've got Contender bug remains. So that is your qualifying bug. Starting P1, P2, next race P9, P13. So that bug still exists. Tyre penalty under the wrong condition is still 2 weeks. So some of these were basically updated in Update 29. Also, I haven't given you the full list from the previous one, but that's just off the App Store. So basically, you can use the wrong tyres and you're not punished too much for using the wrong tyres. So softs in the wet, for example. Overtaking difficulty appears to have increased. AI difficulty appears to have increased. So you notice how previously in the update it said that the update will provide easier overtaking? Well, it's gone the opposite way. Power unit seems less effective, so less increasing, decreasing, that kind of thing. So the whole power unit himself has gone the wrong way. We've got car pile-ups occurring in specific corners, so Monza, what has it got? Japan, Abu Dhabi, Belgium, all have cars piling up and you're getting stuck for ages as well. Pit lane exits, unintended behaviour. So that is when you come out the pits, you get a really slow exit and you kind of get stuck on the track. We've got reliability now reducing during the safety car. So that didn't happen before. So reliability stayed exactly how it was before, never reduced. And now it does reduce behind the safety car. And we've got starting power unit values are incorrect or unbalanced. So potentially drivers are starting on different power unit percentage. So it could be 70%, 80%, 65%. It did change up a few times and different variations have been seen. So this is what Hutch and F1 Clash have advised. So obviously update 29 included some gameplay changes intended to correct previous issues. Unfortunately, the changes resulted in areas impacted like overtaking and AI difficulty. So the decision has been made to review these changes and address the community complaints in update 31, which is experienced later or expected later in August. So it looks like the AI difficulty, the AI overtaking and the power unit effectiveness is here to stay until at least August. No date has been confirmed yet. That could be the start of August. It could be the end of August. But it looks like we're not going to get any easier overtaking or AI until that comes in. You can see the contender qualifying bug appears will receive an additional update in update 30, which is expected in a couple of weeks' time. Now, this was posted on the 19th of July by F1 Clash. So hopefully within the next week, we will start to see update 30 rolling out. I personally haven't seen anything just yet, but it should be within a week's time if we go by the original date. We've also got that tyre compound in there that don't match the weather conditions. However, that is investigating and potentially apply a new update to disadvantage the tyres in update 31. So you can see then reversion of gameplay changes mentioned above is expected to alleviate the stacking up of cars in some track corners. So basically by improving the difficulty of overtaking, improving the AI, it will update and hopefully we won't get stuck any further. That will also help the slow speeds on pit exit sometimes as well. Team's going to monitor it, and any further instances continuing from reports from players are critical to ensure these are resolved after the update release. Reliability was always intended to reduce during the safety car. It was visible by the reducing hours, but the fact that reliability value never reduced was in fact a bug. So the bug that actually helped us is now being removed, and instead we're going to see our car servicing reduce under the safety car. That is expected. Another one to add, sprint button disappears. So ever raced on a Monday and Tuesday and your sprint button suddenly goes, that is a visual bug. However, still keep racing because you will still complete the sprint. So if you see it disappear, race like normal, and when it's ready to give the prize for whichever one you finish, it will pop up and complete. Not a great temporary measure, but they are aware of a urgent matter to resolve. Okay, and then there might be questions as to why they can't be all resolved in update 30, and that's because of a number of improvements to the technical quality of F1 Clash, adding additional gameplay related changes with increased risk, which is too high following the result of update 21. As you can expect and imagine, we don't want any more bugs, so I think they need to get it right instead of rushing it out to us players. Hutch go on to say they understand their frustration. Their team's committed to refining the processes to ensure future updates go smoothly. Now, after many issues with the game, the following page was created in order to get sort of the top clubs together, as many clubs as possible, to submit to Hutch to try and give their feedback to how they can improve the game. And it was done in this part in a polite, what would you say, probably constructive feedback from F1 Clash clubs. Now, looking at this, everyone is rightly there to basically express their frustration and vent. Obviously, we don't play games for bugs, and there's a lot of bugs currently in it. So the real sort of impact that people want to see is these bugs get fixed, get resolved in a timely manner. And a lot of people's best interest is the future of F1 Clash and how we can get it back to maybe what it was once a time ago. So what are we asking for? And my clubs have signed up for this. I obviously have some players in my clubs who are unhappy as well with the game, including myself. And there's people out there who might not even be affected by this, but this is more for the people who are. So what they're asking for, and this has been sent to Hutch, is basically they want an improvement in game development, delivering processes and implement beta testing program. So more testing on updates before they get released so they can iron out any issues prior. Now, I don't know if there is any testing that happens. I don't know, and I'm just assuming, based on the information here, is how I read it. But that is something that they want to see. They've got transparency and communication with the players improves. So more updates, more honest, open discussions with Hutch to the players about what's happening with the game. Boost rebalance to make more of them useful and a different stats equally noticeable. So that's your speed, your cornering. Now last year we had so many good boosts. Dead fast, firework, voice, to name a few, which were amazing. And I know a lot of people, including myself, stocked up on that big time. Obviously this season, boosts at the moment feel a bit more non-existent or are not noticeable on the game. Who remembers dead fast? You could fly past people down the straights. It was almost like having a Red Bull. So people want to see boosts have a bit more of an impact on the game. Community Championship accommodate all players as every nationality. Now there is some legal requirements in here. I'll leave that to Hutch. I trust their legal part. I don't have enough information and understanding on it. But at the minute, some countries are not allowed to enter due to legal rights in their country. So legalities is what I was probably looking for. But yes, so that's why they are not. So they want a competition that includes everybody. We've got connection errors or resolved a solution. Potentially redo a race. So we know people out there who get 3 points. We get some disconnects soon after GP starts. Around 9 PM on a UK time at the weekend, we know it goes down. So there is also a push to get a redo feature. It's just an idea, but even more so, connection errors to be resolved. We've got long-standing issue of matchmaking reduced to 5%. Obviously, it's around 10% at the moment. So you can get a big fluctuation with who you're against. If it's in your favour, great. If it's not in your favour, then it makes it a lot harder. So bringing it down to 5% would result in a lot closer matchups across the system. There's a replacement for the crate timer reduction provided. Now, this was released by Hutch quite a few, maybe a month or two ago, when they did the F1 Clash Community Championship reveal, that they was going to look at some crate time reductions too. But end of the season challenges last year, everyone was hoping for a full year of crate time reductions again, and sadly that was taken out. So that's the reason why that is in there. Players want to see something basically replaced or even bought back. And then asset distribution in crates rebalanced. So Hutch to take a look at the crates offers and rebalance them to a more favourable one. They've been changed a lot this year already. A lot of cards to low cards to high expense to low expense or lower expense. So there's a lot more. So that is basically been sent to Hutch. I don't think that's unfair. I think that's a very fair put together. There's no straight abuse to Hutch with this. This is simply this is what players who care about the game would like to see improve on the track as well. Like I said, I'm just bringing you the details. I do believe these actions do need to be taken. I think Hutch should listen to some of these changes, but it's also down to Hutch to put in them to place. So Hutch needs to communicate with us, be as transparent and open as we can, and that's the best way we're going to go forward. Time will tell, but hopefully with the push that people are going to listen, and we'll get a few more changes and everyone's experience will be better. Like I said, it won't affect all of you. Some people will carry on as normal. Some people will still basically rightly give feedback. So keep on doing what you're doing for the players who just get on with the game. However, the ones that are pushing hard to improve the game, they're trying to make their feedback count. And by this, they certainly make it happen. So keep it up, and hopefully this update video gives you a bit more of an understanding as to what's going on across the F1 Clash world.